Yeah, but he's come through that. It does make you wonder what would have happened if Robbie Kerr had been in front. If that car hadn't broken down, what kind of a battle would we have seen between Robbie Kerr and Nelson Piquet? It would have been like the old days of Mansell versus his father, but we didn't get that treat, I'm afraid, and it looks as though it's going to be Junior to win.
And Ben, as you well know, motor races could be won in ifs and ands and buts. They're only won on the racetrack.
And winning on the racetrack for the second time to take a dominant weekend here at Brands Hatch, it's Brazil. Brazil wins in the feature race. A1 GP has begun, and it's been Brazil who has dominated both races. Australia will finish in second place. Will Power drove very well, but he just couldn't withstand the pressure from a very fast Nelson Piquet. A lot of Latin emotion to be released, I think, John, after that win. And when you think about the problem that they had in the pits, the third place car came out ahead, and eventually he got going.
But of course, this was all saved by the fact that we had that second intervention on the safety car, and that allowed.
He's really worked at his racing, and he's very talented too. He's been impressive in racing in this country over the course of the season. There is the man who's punching the air. He could be very calm and phlegmatic, can Nelson Piquet Jr., but that's his true emotion now, and that's wonderful to see.
Yeah.
The A1 Grand Prix has its first feature race winner, Nelson Piquet Jr., a worthy winner, Andy.
Well, fantastic. What a race. I mean, you know, a bad pit stop, and he's recovered from that, and he's gone and taken the lead to drive around the outside of Will Power into Surtees Bend was absolutely fantastic. He really deserved this win, and I mean, he should be very pleased with himself.
He obviously is.
Brazilians are on top in the World Cup of motorsport.
It makes you wonder, will this be a turnaround for his career in GP2, because he's doing parallel programs with only one round of that to go.
Time to give the trophies out now. Brazil, Australia and Mexico on the podium for the second race. It was Brazil, France and New Zealand in the first race. But Brazil, the common factor, despite the problems, despite the pit stop troubles, they still emerged victorious. And now the presentations are being made. So it's the third place trophy that's being awarded first, of course, to Salvador Duran. And Tony Piquet, A1 GP Chief Executive Officer, makes that award. And the money. Tell me about the money. Well, there it is. The prize money on offer this weekend is a serious amount of prize money. Remember, it's going to be £150,000, that cheque for third place.
Be nice if it was pounds.
Dollars, sorry, yeah. $150,000, and it's $200,000 for this man, Will Power. He takes his medal first of all, the salver, and a cheque for $200,000. And Australia are celebrating that. But the big cheque goes to the race winner, of course, to Nelson Piquet. The medal, the trophy, and a cheque for $300,000. How much of that do you reckon he gets, John?
I think he's just delighted to have a car that he can go out and win a race in, and the team will use that money, and he may have a percentage of it, but it is money that goes to the team, and whatever his negotiations are, well, his dad's a pretty good negotiator, so I'm sure that there's some reasonable amount going to him, but the principle is it's winning, the money is team money, but Nelson Piquet Jr. has done a stunning job for Team Brazil, and Emerson Fittipaldi, the team principal, delighted at his young protege, or you should say his Piquet's father's young protege as well as Fittipaldi.
All these Brazilian superstars, John, we can't keep track of them all, can we? They have had so much success in motorsport, and it's just continuing.
It is.
wonderful to see. They have a great depth of talent in Brazil. It is a huge country, 181 million people, but it seems to me as though they're just as passionate about their motorsport as they are about their football, and they produce talent in both sports every year.
Football more accessible, motorsport not, but one of the beauties of this is it is a nations cup, as opposed to simply being motor racing where you do have to find the budgets individually and then you've got to put it together with the team. And as Emerson expressed earlier in one of the interviews, that it is an opportunity that has never existed before.
Yes, the whole new format of motor racing, and we've enjoyed the day here at Brands Hatch. We will get to hear from these guys in just a little while. They're taking the publicity photographs on the podium there, and then we'll see them make their way down to the press conference, and we'll get to hear from Nelson Piquet, who's now liberally sprayed with champagne. Well done to Australia.
In the sprint race, it was pretty eventful out there in the feature race, and we saw some great racing and a great overtaking manoeuvre from yourself.
Yeah, first race was perfect. I was a bit worried about the second race because it was a normal start and we had a pit stop and nobody's used to the pit stop, so it was a new adventure for most of the mechanics, and the whole pit line was full. You know, there were 25 cars and everybody knew there was going to be a pace car and everybody was going to come in. So luckily I was in first when the pace car came in, but we had, of course, problems with our pit stop, and Australia came in, and then Power managed to leave in front of me, and then I started to get worried, and then I don't know what happened with Robbie. He had to stop for whatever reason, and my team told me to push very hard until the end, and I managed to overtake him, and it was something that I had never expected was going to happen. When I saw Will in front of me, I said, well, it's going to be a second place, but I managed to do it. I don't know how.
2 wins, fastest lap, a great weekend for Brazil.
Oh yeah, it's a dominant weekend, and I think the team has done a perfect job. The car was really, really good. From the first race to the second race, we worked hard on the car because we didn't have a very good setup for the first race, and the car was just excellent in the second race, and I could have pushed much more if I wanted.
Just finally, Nelson, there's not long between these 2 races. How difficult was it to settle down after that first win of the A1 Grand Prix, or did it just make you hungry for more?
Well, to tell you the truth, I only realized how close the 2 races were when I was in the press conference of the first race, and Prema told me that we had 15 minutes for the next race for the pit lane to open, and I didn't believe it. So I ran to the pits and I started working in the computer with the engineers, and we set up the car, and I set up the car and we went again.
It was a great day for Brazil. Thanks very much, guys.
Thank you.
Emerson, in Great Britain, we call it the gentleman's set. Pole position and both race wins and the fastest lap as well. It doesn't get any better than that, does it?
Oh, it was a fantastic day for us. Nelson drove superb. I mean, we lost on the pit stop, and then he was attacking. He did beautifully, overtook on the outside, like we say in Italy, like you say in Brazil, a maestro.
The smell of champagne, I can smell it on your breath. I saw Nelson Piquet Sr. in there celebrating with you as well. Team Brazil goes to Lausitzring now. It's an important day for you in A1 GP when you arrive there. How do you think it's going to pan out?
Well, I think we have to be consistent for the whole championship. We are going to try to be very quick in Germany, but I mean competition will be there very tough, and we have to keep up working hard.
Brands Hatch is a great place for you personally, for Nelson Sr. and now Nelson Jr. too. Brazilian eyes are going to be smiling for an hour or two, I believe, here.
I think it's a very special place for me, very, very good memories for Nelson, father and now Junior. I think it has been a fantastic day for us, and cheers.
Cheers to you.
Thank you very much, cheers.
I think nothing better could have happened.
What were you feeling like when you went through that finishing line, not only once, but twice?
Well, the biggest moment I felt something was when I overtook Australia by the outside in the second race. It was something that I never expected was going to happen in the race, and I managed to do it because he did a little mistake, and it was great. I mean, it was such a good feeling, and after crossing the chicken flag and first for the second time, I think everybody did a good job, the team and everything was
It
great.
was, wasn't it? A battle right until the end with Australia and with Will Power and the Australian driving team. Let's just take a look at that overtaking manoeuvre right now, because this took guts. Just talk us through it.
Well, I mean, Australia was, I knew he was a bit slower, and the team was really telling me to push hard on him because he's gonna make a mistake. And I was quite frustrated, and they said, no, push hard, Australia's gonna make a mistake. And in the end, he did a little tiny mistake, and I got the chance, and he went to the inside. I tried by the outside, and I just braked a bit later, and I managed to cross in the middle of the corner in front of him, and it was by centimeters I managed to do it.
It all turned out beautifully well in the end. Bit of a problem though in the pits. You were first in and last out. What happened there?
Well, that was very complicated as well. I don't know, it's first pit stop for everybody, and it's new regulations. It's not like GP2 or any other categories here in Europe. It's like America, it's a bit different. So my boys, they had no experience. So for them, they had to get used to it, and for sure the first time they did it, they got a bit nervous and something happened. And that's when I left in third behind England and Australia. England, they had a problem, and then I had Australia in front of me, and I managed to do the move and won the race.
So over to Dad. Son's won both races today. You must be proud of him, aren't you?
Yeah, I am very much. You know, it's very exciting. I think the pits did a very good job because they make a mistake, and it was an opportunity for Nelson get behind him and do a very nice overtaking.
Earlier on this morning, in the early hours, when you're thinking about both races that you've got to contemplate later on this afternoon, what were you saying? What advice were you offering?
No, I don't give any advice. I think every race, what I say is the second place is the first loser should win.
Fitting, isn't it, though? Nelson Piquet Jr. should decide to win here at Brands, which has so many memories for you.
Yeah, I think even for me and for him, Brands Hatch is a very good circuit, and also raced here 4 times, win 3 times. And my last Grand Prix I won here. I did a pole position, quick lap, and it was 19 years ago, a long time.
6 out of 5 here.
Gentlemen, I'm going to have to stop you there. Thank you so much for joining me in the studio this afternoon.